back to the Inspire, Create, Manifest podcast. I'm your host, Joe Longo, and today is a big day. If you are watching on Spotify, here is my book, Simplicity and Awareness. It is officially open for resale. We're going to dive into the book a little bit today, but before we get into the book, I just want to share with everybody that is listening, thank you all for being here. Thank you for listening. Along with the book coming out on September 23rd, we are approaching the 1,000th episode of the podcast, which completely blows my mind. Even a little more than the book is blowing my mind. I mean, all of these things are blowing my mind, and I want to bring it all up because all of it comes back to the idea of continually showing up for yourself and not waiting for somebody to give you permission. This has really been the theme the last couple of days, that you do not need permission to start a podcast. You do not need permission to write your book. You do not need permission to do the things that you want to do with your precious life. It's your life, my friend, and life is short and limited. And when you start looking around and you start recognizing how short it is and how sweet it is, I hope that inspires you to start a podcast. Start sharing your voice with the world. Write your book. Talk to your friends. Spend time with your friends. Be your most authentic self. And for anyone that is listening, if you have over the last, year and a half, 2 years, 4 years, lost friends because of politics, I invite you to reach out to those friends and say, hey, do you remember me? We used to be friends before politics got in the way, before distractions got in the way. But I'm still that same person that I was 5 years ago. I'm still that same person that was right there by your side through every struggle that you've been through until politics got in the way. So what if we all come back to this space right here, right now, and remember how precious this gift of life is that we have, and do your thing. Shine your light with the world. Shine your light so bright and be your most authentic self. And if you are in one of those spaces where friendships were lost, can we all come back and remember that time when critical thinking was a thing? When you were allowed to say, oh, right, I love you as a person, but I don't believe in your political stance, and that is okay. I still love you. And I think that would be beneficial for all of society. We have literally let distractions and manipulation from mass media tear apart friendships that were lifetime friendships. Because one political side said one thing and another said another, and everybody has been lying to everybody to create division, to create separation. I'm here to bring that back, to bring us back together, so we can all uplift and support each other and love each other, knowing that we are individuals and we are allowed to have different points of view and different beliefs. But just be a good person. Be a good person. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's talk about simplicity and awareness. The great remembering, all about remembering, coming back to who you truly are. And we forget, and we remember, and we forget, and we remember. And that's really what this book is about, that we're humans and we are going to forget. But can we also give ourselves permission to remember, to come back and say, oh, wow, I remember who I am and I'm still this same person. But I may have forgotten along the way because I was distracted. So I want to read just maybe first page of the book, Simplicity and Awareness. You can pre-order it now. The link is down in the show notes. Also, if you do pre-order it, let me know that you pre-order it, and we are going to be having a very special webinar for everyone that has pre-ordered the book later in September when the book is actually out and you can get the hard copy. We are going to be having a very special Zoom webinar hangout where we're going to be going over some of the practices in the book, remembering who we truly are, and then moving forward. So if you did pre-order the book, if you're thinking about pre-ordering the book, Do that. You'll get yourself on the list for the special webinar that is just for people that pre-ordered. So if you want to be part of that fun pre-order club, that pre-order webinar where we're going to be exploring some of the practices in the book, you got to let me know that you pre-ordered. Send me a snap of your receipt from Amazon. Send me something letting me know, and I will get you that Zoom link. We haven't picked out the exact date yet, but stay tuned because it's coming. So now let's get into this. The first chapter in the book is entitled The Voice in the Storm. And this is a little story of my origin story, I guess you can say. Chapter 1, The Voice in the Storm. Some stories wait patiently for the perfect moment to be written, but this one didn't. This one arrived like a storm, loud, unpolished, insistent. So I started talking it into existence. A little bit about me, a little bit about you, a little bit about everything. And then we'll shape it from here. I was about 5 years old when it happened. I don't remember every detail of that day. But I do remember believing in monsters and magic and that my mom could fix anything. The sky darkened earlier than usual. Thunder cracked, lightning lit up the sky. And in the 1980s in Pennsylvania, that meant one thing. You unplugged the house, TV, lamps, microwaves. Everything came out of the wall. We hunkered down and usually fell asleep to the hum of the storm. But this one felt different. It was louder. It shook my chest. And I was the only one awake. There I was, a kid sitting cross-legged on the floor in a sleeping house, terrified. And then I heard it, a voice, clear as day. Not from outside, but from somewhere deeper. Don't be afraid. I am always with you, the voice said. I ran straight to my mom, and through tears I told her everything. She looked at me and said something I'll never forget. That was God, Joe. He is always with you. You don't have to be afraid. That was God, Joe. He is always with you. You don't have to be afraid. I often think about that moment and how a single sentence can shape someone's life. One line, one truth spoken in love can stay with someone forever. And we may never know the weight of our words in someone else's life. From that day on, something in me shifted. I knew without being taught that God was within me. Long before I heard a sermon or read a Bible verse, I carried a quiet certainty. The kingdom of God is within me. And that knowing changed the way I moved through the world. I began to crave quiet in a house that was rarely still. I wasn't escaping. I was listening. I didn't have language for it then, but I was learning to make space for the voice within, the stillness, the safety. You'll have to pre-order and get your own copy to keep going. But that moment in that storm when I was 5 years old, and I heard that voice tell me that I was safe, that I would always be safe, and the affirmation of my mom affirming that, yes, that was the voice of God. And maybe she was just appeasing me, trying to get me to stop crying. But I've been holding on to that for the last 45 years of my life, and I have been allowing that to lead me to where I am today, to keep listening to that voice inside. And we're going to bring it all back to the beginning of that episode. Keep listening to the voice inside of your soul. But don't let the distractions on the outside world rip beautiful relationships apart. Because CNN said one thing and Fox News said something else, and you saw a TikTok video that said something else, and then Uncle Bob told you something else. Can you come back to you and realize that we're all beautiful human beings trying to figure out this game of life? And if we can continually come back to the space of remembering that that voice is within you and that you can trust that voice, but you also don't have to throw away relationships to trust that voice. If we can all be grown-ups again and act like responsible human beings and not say, yeah, but he did, she did, he did, she did. Come back to that quiet voice within. Come back to that space within. honor your truth. And for the love of God, start shining your beautiful light with the world. And maybe it's just leaning out to a friend. Maybe it's writing a book. Maybe it's starting a podcast. Maybe it's making a TikTok video. Honor your voice. Honor your truth. Because that voice, that truth is the voice of God. Own it. Embrace it. Thanks for being here, everyone. Like I said, if you pre-order the book, please let me know. Send me a snap. Send me an email. Share it on your stories. Email joe@inspirecreatemanifest.com. Say, hey, here's my receipt from the pre-sale. I want to come to that webinar, and I will get you all of the information for this very special webinar that we'll be hosting at the end of September, where we start exploring these practices of simplicity and awareness. And this first webinar is just going to be for everyone that has purchased the book on pre-sale. So make sure you get that pre-sale. And the pre-sale, friends, is really going to help get this out into the world. I'm doing this on my own with some help with friends and the people close to me to get this out into the world. There is no publisher. There is no one saying you need to do this. We've gotten rid of the middleman. And part of doing this is to show you all that you can get rid of the middleman as well. You don't have to wait for somebody to give you permission. You have permission. So get out there and do it. Thanks for being here, everybody. Like, subscribe, share, pre-order the book, tell your friends, share it with the world. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you back here on Thursday. Have a great week and happy September, my friends. Happy September.